everybody. Welcome into the Nonsensical Podcast, the show with two hot guys with even hotter opinions. I am one of your hosts, Sam Wilkerson, and here is the better half of the host, Nate Hassan.
Hey guys, welcome in. I didn't check until just now, but I am not sure if we have any reviews. Let me tell you in a second. We do not. So go on iTunes. Yes, the podcast app on the Apple Store. Go on there, find us. You can listen to us there. Spotify, Stitcher, just about anywhere you get your podcasts. I assume if you're hearing this, you're on one of those. So if you can review us, give us a review and send some text there. We love hearing your guys' questions, your thoughts, your comments, your concerns. So hit us up there. We do have a website and a Discord. Pretty much all of our links are in the description of this recording. So go ahead and find those there, and it'll take you to where you need to go.
All right. So I think we're going to start the day off. Start the I almost said cast, and I would have become the thing that I hate most in this world. We're going to talk a little bit about CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference. It was held this past weekend It was in Florida. Was it Orlando?
Yep.
Okay. In Orlando, Florida, some of the notorious headliners being former President Trump. Depending on which camp you're in, you could still refer to him as President Trump. You know, some people. Let's see. Ted Cruz spoke at it. There was another big name that I saw from it. There were a lot of Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz spoke at it. There were a lot of people that spoke at it.
There was a really nice what's the word I'm looking for? Like a recap or a tribute to Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. That's nice.
Yeah, we haven't recorded since he passed away, I don't think. So, that's...
Yeah, no, I never...
That's some news.
That's some news. He passed away. He passed away of...
I believe it was just old age. Oh, it was lung cancer. You're right. No, you're right. Well, nowadays it's either COVID or it's something else. So I'm thinking, oh, it's not COVID. It's something else. It must have been old age. It was lung cancer.
He was a freaking dinosaur.
I think he was only 70 years old. He wasn't that old.
Yeah, he wasn't that old. No. Yeah, he passed away. I never really listened to Rush. I don't have any stories about listening to Rush like most people seem to have, but he did set the standard for conservative talk radio. And so in a way, I listened to a lot. Not even
conservative. I mean, honestly, what did I see? At one point he was hold on. Let me look it up.
He set a standard for all talk radio, but he really revolutionized
he did.
Conservative talk radio.
The other day I heard the number and it was crazy. I'm like, holy crap. Weekly listeners, 15.5 million. So a good chunk of our country's population listen to it. So, obviously that's a sad thing to hear. I mean, anyone passing away, but just what he did for the industry, he paved the way for guys like Sam and I to talk to you, even though we're from a generation that doesn't necessarily know him as well. Just respecting his legacy and knowing what he did for radio and for podcasting and for conservatives as a whole.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, back to CPAC.
Let's talk about CPAC.
So you said you saw some highlights. Did you see the highlights of Trump's speech or just the whole thing?
I just heard some clips from Trump's speech. I heard a couple clips from Ted Cruz's speech.
There were some interesting ones from Trump, that's for sure. He didn't necessarily announce that he was running, but he's definitely teasing it. He said, maybe I'll decide to come back and win for a third time, alluding to the fact that he believes he won this past election, which I'm not going to comment on because I don't want to take it off anything. But obviously that's kind of where he was going with that. So
I'm sad to hear about your suicide next week.
Honestly, though, he was very withheld, I think. Compared to most speeches and like when he's in public, he was pretty mild compared to most of the time. That was like the craziest thing he said the entire night, was that he might win for a third time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He even kind of danced around whenever he talked about there being voter irregularity specifically. He never said that he won. He said it just had a big influence on the
Oh
election.
yeah, and it did have a big impact. I can say that, and I
So
mean,
he's
we can take
definitely
it up, we can take it down, but
toned down the claims of victory. The yeah, but he did allude to it. Yeah, he really didn't. I was very relieved that he came out and explicitly said that he would not be
start another party.
starting a third party.
Yep,
So
I thought that was huge, and for the reason that he said, I think it was huge too. He doesn't want to split up voters.
Yeah,
There's no reason to have
got that through to him. Yeah,
no reason to have 25% of people voting Republican, 25% of people voting Trump, and 50% voting for whatever we don't want. So,
voting Libertarian, Green Party, one of those other weird ones.
But no, it was good. It was interesting to see him out of office speaking because it's the first big public event he's had.
Yeah.
So it was just a little bit different than what we're used to, I guess, for the past 4 years. But no, it was really good. And I think more than anything has solidified the fact that Trump is still the face of the Republican Party as much as some people don't like that idea. Mitt Romney.
Even Mitt Romney. Even
he admits it, yeah.
He said,
I only represent, I just said he didn't like it.
He said, I only represent a sliver of the Republican Party. And you heard, I don't know if you heard the highlight of the boos that Liz Cheney got.
I did, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. At CPAC.
Yeah. At CPAC, at her own party's conference.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a weird time to be in and seeing that. But I thought, I don't know if you saw this, I'm sure you did because it was one of the left media's favorite things to talk about from this weekend. That was Ted Cruz's joke about Cancun. I thought it was pretty funny. Apparently people didn't appreciate it. But I don't get, I don't understand why. Because they attacked him for going to Cancun. I don't know that we've recorded since that controversy either. For those of you that don't know, Ted Cruz during the blizzards in Texas flew to Cancun. He claimed that he was flying to Cancun to drop off his daughters, but it did surface that he had planned a vacation to go to Cancun, which I don't understand why.
There's nothing wrong with a vacation.
Yeah, no, nothing's wrong with that. I don't know why he lied about it because there's nothing wrong with taking a vacation. Yeah. But he flew to Cancun. He got a little bit of blowback, flew back. Okay. Then he started going and handing out bottles of water and having publicity stunts, cutting up brisket at events for firefighters. And really, a point that was made about this, I don't know if it was Ben Shapiro or maybe Crowder. Steven Crowder said something about it. But they were talking about really whenever these famous politicians come in there, it hinders their process of relief.
Ability of healing and getting things fixed.
Because whenever AOC went in there, it was anytime a politician goes in there, it turns from a strictly relief project to a show. Yeah. It's a photo op. And they can deny it all they want.
Everyone stops doing what they're doing and they go and watch this guy walk down the street. They see the motorcade and all that.
They wouldn't be down there if they weren't going to get some good pictures for the press. Okay. And it could be just as easy for somebody like AOC, or there was another prominent Democrat that flew down just to make Ted Cruz look bad. It would be just as easy and more effective for them to fundraise and send money to them.
Yep.
To the Texans, to relief projects down there. It would have been just as easy for Ted Cruz to fundraise and send money to them. Because these individual politicians are not going to affect large-scale change. The only thing they will be is a photo op and possibly a face of comfort. But they're federal employees. They're not. They serve the state, but there's nothing they can affect on a local level that will really matter. It was dumb. But anyway, he made a joke at the beginning of his CPAC speech and said, "It's really nice down here in Florida. Not as nice as it was in Cancun." And I thought it was funny. I thought it was a funny little self-deprecating jab about his recent controversy. Oh, but then the left came in and talked about how it was so
Like they always
tone-deaf.
do.
So tone-deaf of him to talk about going to Cancun and how he's in Florida when his Texas residents are still suffering. I don't know if they have a weather app. It's like 90
like
degrees in Texas.
Yeah.
It was 91 here in Mississippi Sunday. So
I'm sure the snow only lasted like what, 3-4 days at the most. It's Texas. It's not.
Oh no, they got hit really hard.
Was it a decent amount of time?
Oh yeah, they were. They were like completely out of power and water for 4 or 5 days. Like Texas ran out of power.
I knew they were out of power. I knew that.
Oh no, they got hit.
I meant
saying
weather-wise.
Oh no, they got hit really hard. Yeah, no, they did. Mississippi got hit, not really hard, but decently hard. But Texas got hit really hard. Mississippi got nothing compared to what they got.
It's not funny, but the way that you're saying it just makes me chuckle because when you say, "Oh, we got hit really hard," Mississippi got hit real hard. I'm thinking
no, Mississippi. I'm saying Mississippi didn't, or at least my part didn't. North Mississippi got hit harder. But gotcha. For us, though, because down south we don't have the same.
Yeah, you don't have the trucks to plow.
We don't have the trucks. We don't have plows. We don't have
or brine or anything like that.
Yeah, we don't have large stockpiles.
You know, that's what they use some places around here. I don't think they use it.
Juice?
No, beet juice.
Oh,
like Dwight Schrute from The Office. Beet.
Yeah,
that's what because it freezes at such a low temperature that they can use it on the roads.
Well, in that case, just use vodka.
Fuck. There you go.
Vodka freezes.
Light the roads on fire. That'd be fun. First, Ohio's known for the flaming river. Now we're going to be known for the flaming roads.
But yeah, they did. Go ahead.
I was going to say another. It was off topic. Did you want to finish your thought real quick?
No, I finished my thought.
I was just going to say, along with the CPAC talk before we wrap that up, the straw polls are pretty interesting. So the majority the majority of conservatives were saying that they would hypothetically vote for Trump if he ran in 2024, with 55% it looks like. And these are according to The Hill. It also said that 21% said they would vote for Ron DeSantis, who is actually rising right now as far as possible candidates go. Obviously, we're a long ways away, so I don't even want to begin to think about who it could be. But he got some votes. Donald Jr., I think, he came in like 4th place. So the Trump family is definitely running that. And I mean, even 7 out of 10 people said they would like to see Trump run for president again. 15% said they would not. 17% said they were unsure. 95% said they want the Republican Party to continue with Trump's agenda and policies. And only 3% said they want to change direction.
Yeah, a poll that I've seen a lot today has been from the Twitter handle at Politics Polls. For the 2024 National Republican primary, Pence leading the way on theirs with 21%. Then Cruz at 10, DeSantis at 8, Trump Jr. at 8. And it kind of goes through, hits the larger Republicans, Crenshaw at 2, Sass at 2, Kasich at 1. But my favorite is at the bottom, Dave Portnoy.
Who's that?
At the Barstool president, CEO and president of Barstool Sports.
Oh, that's who that
is. Yeah. Dave Portnoy. Oh, no. Yeah. He is somewhere between 0 and 1%.
Oh man.
Is, I mean, when you look at that's probably a lot of people.
That has to be something that, like, the fans of that, what is that journal or whatever Barstool Sports is, it's kind of its own thing. That has to be something fans of that decided.
It's like it's a pretty large network of different things. There's a few different podcasts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like I guess Instagram. The only way he could have gotten that many votes is probably because they're trying to coordinate something.
Well, he's been
a joke, I'm sure.
He's been in the news a lot with his small business relief efforts. I don't know if you've seen him. Yeah. But he's done a lot to open back small businesses, donate money to struggling small businesses.
That's cool.
And so I think that's where a lot of it's coming from. I think I mean, these polls right now, the straw polls right now, they aren't gonna. Ron
Oh
Paul's
no,
always a big contender in straw polls, and then
yeah,
you
we
get
see
to
where
the
that
real
goes.
primaries, and but yeah, I don't know that. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see in 4 years because it's always a big swing, especially as hard as the pendulum has swung this time to just have a complete blue swing. Just think about it's gonna, and bad policy adds up. Bad policy adds a lot of weight to that. So you're gonna see people see a lot of bad policy
Oh yeah,
enacted on a
well,
large
people have already seen it.
scale, and it's just gonna swing. I think it's gonna swing so hard back red in 2024.
Well, I think there's people that see it now too. Like even my boss is I he calls himself libertarian. I think he's much more Democrat than he believes he is. But um, even someone like him can looks at Biden and they're like, yeah, that's a dead old man.
Yeah.
But he hates Trump so much he didn't vote for him. So that's I think we're going to get a lot of voters. Even if Trump's running again, I think people are going to see like, oh, Joe Biden came into office and said there was no COVID plan, even though a vaccine, he already got the vaccine. He said there was no vaccine.
Yeah.
And that was like, what, 30 days after he got the vaccine himself?
Yeah, 30 days before he actually entered into office, he got the vaccine, and then he gets in office and says, there was no vaccine before. I don't know what you're talking about.
But just stupid stuff like that. Like that obviously that's a dumb example, and that's not something super serious. I mean, it shows serious signs of dementia, but
come on, man.
No,
that was sugar water I got put in my arm.
Some of the policies, and like the how many executive orders is he up to now? He was up to at least 50 at one point. I believe he's.
Who?
If I had to guess, I'd say he's in the 80s.
Consecutive what?
Executive orders.
Oh, executive order. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the same guy that said a couple years ago that he refused to govern by executive fiat.
Yep.
You mean that, Joe Biden?
Oh, when was this posted? This yeah. This is according to CNN, so take that with a grain of salt. CNN, as of February 25th, said that it's been 50 executive orders. Sorry, it says executive actions, so who knows how many executive orders that is.
Yeah.
Well, before we get too far off topic, do you want to take a break and we will come right back?
Yeah, we can.
Sweet. Well, let's take a break. Keep listening, guys, and we will be right back.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Free Lunch Coffee. To tell you a little bit more about Free Lunch Coffee, here's Nate.
Free Lunch Coffee is a great organization. They were founded this year. All of their money goes towards helping starving children in Africa. So go ahead and look up our link. It is actually freelunchcoffee.com/nonsensical. That is freelunchcoffee.com/nonsensical. Buy coffee, great coffee, locally sourced, organic for a great cause, and help us out at the same time and save yourself a little bit of money. So go check that out and give us a like on that.
All right, welcome back, everybody. So for the second half, we're going to talk for about 5 or 6 minutes, some different headlines that we've seen that we want to cover. I know that I have two right now. This is the section of the show that I really like to just pull the stupid headlines that I see. So I'll start with this one. And this is from the Daily Wire. Upcoming Harry Potter video game will reportedly allow players to be transgender.
Ah, great.
How? How? What? Like if you're transgender in real life, just pick the gender that you identify as.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Because I don't understand if they're trying to say, "Ooh, if they think they're a man, they're a man." What are you going to do in the video game? Say, "Oh, this is a woman that thinks she's a man," because then that's refuting your own argument.
That is true. Maybe it'll have some really in-depth character design like Cyberpunk, where your genitals are customizable, and you can say that you're a male, but you change it to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the children's book and movie series video game is going to have customizable genitals.
It's CD Projekt Red. That's who's making this.
See that? Oh my gosh! Oh no, that would be a whole another uprising in and of itself. Later in the article, it quotes. It says players will also choose whether they wish to play as a witch or a wizard. That's just two different character designs. What?
Well, no, isn't that based off gender? Or no, I'm thinking
Yeah,
warlock.
witches are
a witch and a warlock, right? Or
no, wizards. Yeah, witches are female and wizards are male, and warlocks are just evil wizards.
Oh, I guess I don't.
From my understanding of nerd culture, at least.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I don't like Harry Potter, so I don't care.
I've seen maybe 5 minutes of one of the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, I just don't care.
Don't at me.
Don't at me.
Don't at me.
Speaking of hats, that's a great segment to my newsline. On Twitter. So I don't know if you guys have heard. By the time this comes out, I'm sure you have. But Texas and Mississippi opened up fully today as of this recording. So that is no mask mandate and businesses open as usual with no limitation as far as people.
We're
outside.
Free.
Yep. So I honestly, it is pretty cool. But Gavin Newsom, the terrible governor out of California, quoted the Associated Press on Twitter and said, absolutely reckless. Just immediately blasting Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott's just trying to get his economy started again and get something started, and Gavin Newsom's not having it. So Gavin Newsom can lock his state down all he wants. None of us are going there. But yeah, no, that was a little discouraging. I mean, it's at this point, it's should be expected that politicians will attack politicians, or the left will attack us at least. But always not a fun thing, you know.
Yeah, no. They'll just these Democratic states. When are they going to learn? You've got Andrew Cuomo asking reporters if they think they can. I'm not going to say that.
Gosh.
Never mind.
Oh, no.
Have you heard the quote?
The exact quote is,
Can you eat this whole sausage?
Oh, that's one, too.
That's one, yeah.
I thought you were referencing the one he said, have you ever slept with an older guy or something like that?
And then he's
something
like, I think under 23 is just too young. After he asked how old she was, and she said 24.
Oh, my gosh.
You got to love a man with standards, though.
Hey, obviously, I think I don't innocent until proven guilty, but at the same time, you have to at least admit those are some of the creepiest things you could say.
Yeah.
You have to at least admit the dude's a creep.
He's still trying to go down, denying everything. He's like, look, you know, I'm playful in the workplace.
That is what he said. You see it when I'm on TV?
Yeah, that's a real funny joke there, Andrew. Can you eat this whole sausage? Yeah, that's hilarious, buddy. That's about as hilarious as a Trevor Noah skit.
Oh, man.
I swear, if I have to see the stupid Trevor Noah promo of him saying, "Ooh, yeah, you got to roast coronavirus," one more time.
I don't know if I've seen that one. I've seen a lot of stupid ones, but I don't know if I've seen that one.
So bad. It is literally, a 12-year-old filming an unfunny TikTok just with better production value.
Oh my gosh.
That's just Trevor Noah's show, though. So.
Yeah, that's probably the whole show.
Okay, so I got one more headline, and then we're gonna go to
our unnamed segment.
Unnamed, yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, this headline comes from the New York Post. Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall forced to put white actor in Coming to America.
Oh my god.
So apparently, it says, a quote from the article, "Call it equal opportunity laughter, but Louis Anderson did not appear in 1988's Coming to America because stars Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall were dying to share the screen with him. When the two of them appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live to promote the sequel, Coming to the number 2 America, they revealed the real reason.
Smart.
I love Louis, but I think we were forced to put Louis in," Hall 65 told the host. "We were forced to put in a white person." So now, of course, I'm sure that the Twitter sphere is ablaze with how awful that was, but it's just equal opportunity. It is equal opportunity working back. Well, it's just equal opportunity working.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's working backwards
hard.
compared to what most people think, but
Yeah, but
it's
that's
just
actually
working
how
in
it should
general.
work.
Yeah,
That's like
yes.
the term reverse racism. There is no such thing as reverse racism.
There's just
Racism
racism.
against white people is still racism.
So racist. The definition of racism is judging one based off their race or something like that, right? Or acting in prejudice. Or, I don't know, something to that effect. But
The definition of racism is not white people being jerks.
oh my gosh! Hey, according to Coke, to be white is to be racist, Sam.
Well, you should be less white, please. If you could
try to be less white. That is exactly what the screen said.
I'm gonna need you to take about 30% off their Squirrely Dan. All right. Okay, we've gone over on our segment there. Okay, so this next segment, I finished the intro for it today, so we're gonna play that here.
I've held an AR-15 in my hand. I wish I had it. It is as heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving. And the bullet that is utilized, a 50 caliber, these kinds of bullets.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against a fellow.
Kate, if you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun. I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts.
That would ban most.
No, but pistols are different. You have to pull the trigger each time. An assault weapon, you basically hold it, goes blah, blah, blah.
But some of these bullets, as you saw, have an incendiary device on the tip of it, which is a heat-seeking device.
There's been a lot of people that have been shot by an unloaded gun, and whether it's loaded or not, it still presents a threat.
This is a ghost gun. This right here has ability with a 30 caliber clip to disperse with 30 bullets within half a second. 30 magazine clip in half a second.
So we need your help. I need your help. This is a segment that I came to Nate with a couple weeks ago because I've seen a lot of dumb gun laws being talked about, and I want to shine some light on some really dumb gun laws that are trying to be pushed through right now. And because I know in the coming years, with this blue wave that is taken over, there's going to be a lot of them, and a lot of them is just wow, a retarded monkey could have written something more comprehensible. So, comprehensive. Not really.
Sam,
it is reprehensible, but it's comprehensive.
I don't think you explained when he says we need your help. Well, I guess we need your help in telling us the law. Like if you have a thought as to one, you can give us that. But he means the name. We don't have a name for it.
Yeah, send me some names.
Something
I'm
witty.
Having a hard time coming up with
like
something
a pun.
catchy. Yeah.
Give us a dad joke.
So today, a couple weeks ago, well, I guess it released Thursday, we talked about HR 127 this past Thursday. And that was written by Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, a Democrat out of Texas. So today, I was getting ready for the show, and I found 2 other House resolutions written by Representative Jackson Lee. And they are House Resolutions 121 and 125 that were submitted the same time as 127, but they aren't getting the same airtime. So I thought I'd give them a little airtime today, and we'd talk about them. All right. So we'll start with 121. Actually, 121 is just 2 pages. It's not very much. But the short title is Gun Violence Reduction Resources Act of 2021. And it just goes on to talk about all of their spewed statistics that they like to
It's a push.
Talk about, and how many gun deaths there are every year, and how many mass shootings, which, by the way, is a completely undefined term.
Yes.
The definition of mass shootings, isn't
it 3 or more people?
It's undefined.
Oh.
We don't have a standard definition because the FBI
I'm
has
thinking
a definition for mass murder.
You know what I'm thinking? Yeah, that's that. I think I'm thinking of either mass murder or a serial killer, which I believe is 3 or more.
Yeah. So we don't have a standardized definition of what a mass shooting is. Most outlets agree that it is either 3 or more excluding the shooter or 4 including the shooter. Okay, but that's not how they have to report it. They can report 2 people being killed.
Yeah, but there has to be some sort of like bracket on the end of it. You know what I mean? Because you can't just say like, oh, there's a mass shooting in downtown Columbus today, when really it was just like a drive-by and some gang members shot some other gang. You know what I mean? Like it's not a mass shooting if it's a drive-by against like 2 or 3 people.
You would think they couldn't do that.
Well,
they really can.
Yes, I agree. No, I agree. I'm just saying we need some sort of bracket on that as well, like against someone unarmed or against someone like not premeditated. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it could be premeditated, but not against that specific person. Anyways, you get the idea.
Yeah, I get the idea. So we'll get to what this resolution is actually proposing. It starts at line 17. The Attorney General may hire 200 individuals to serve as agents and investigators. I'm assuming that means 200 extra individuals in additional. Yeah, it says in later. Investigators for the ATF, ATFE now, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, in addition to any individuals so serving as of the date of the enactment. So they want to add 200 more ATF agents.
Mm-hmm.
They want to add more.
I'll show you where you can stick an ATF agent.
Look, save the dogs, abolish the ATF.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's my thoughts on it. That's just ridiculous. Adding 200 more government employees, so that's your tax dollars hard at work. Yep. Tax dollars that could be going towards cutting away at the national debt, or instead going to go towards 200 more regulatory officers.
Or COVID, Or
COVID.
COVID relief.
You think that's a concern?
No, but yeah, no. I mean, instead of trying to push a 1.3 trillion or billion, I don't know. I never remember.
All right, so House Resolution 125 is a little bit bigger. It's 6 pages, but it is definitely the more brain dead of the two. I'll read the summary at the top of the bill. To amend Title 18 United States Code to provide for a 7-day waiting period before a semi-automatic firearm, a silencer, armor-piercing ammunition, or a large-capacity ammunition magazine may be transferred.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which I don't know that it might define a large capacity ammunition magazine.
Probably, I would assume it's anything over 10.
Let's see. Let me find it.
But either way, that is a very dumb thing. Like,
that's ridiculous.
I understand the thought of like, oh yeah, if you're gonna buy a gun, you can wait 7 days. That's probably gonna be their excuse, but at the same time, I should have the right to buy something. You shouldn't have to tell me, like, oh, you got to wait to buy it.
Okay, the term large capacity, I'm quoting directly from the bill. The term large capacity ammunition magazine, I don't know of any magazines that aren't ammunition magazines, means a magazine, belt, drum, feed strip, or similar device that has a capacity of, or that can be readily restored or converted to accept more than 10 rounds of ammunition.
Yep, that was my guess.
So, that's
which
most non-compact pistols.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Keep in mind, most like a SIG, most SIGs are, they're the side-by-side loads, so they hold 17 rounds or something like that. Double stack, so thank you. That's the term I'm looking for.
Glocks.
Anything big,
I know my shield is a single stack.
Yeah, but any full-size gun, anything...
That's what I'm saying. Anything that's not a compact pistol is going to have... any 22 pistol is going to have more than 10 because they're so small.
Yep.
Yeah. So you may not think, oh, they're wanting to buy a gun, they have to wait 7 days to do this. You can't go to the store and buy an extra magazine. You have to wait 7 days to get that. This isn't just waiting 7 days for a gun, so waiting 7 days for a suppressor or a silencer.
Just about everything. Well, the other thing, think about it. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Great.
Task.
Well,
okay, so I'm going to read a little section here. And just to put in perspective of this, I'm going to switch out the word gun with car, and the statistics for gun violence with car accidents. Okay? So, every day, on average, 99 Americans are victims of car violence, resulting in more than 36,000 deaths annually. States with higher car ownership rates have higher car accident rates. As much as, I don't know the statistic on this one, but for the guns, it's 114%. Than states with lower car ownership rates. So you see, but nobody's calling for a ban on sports cars or muscle cars or trucks or vans or any moving object that is far deadlier than a weapon, than a firearm. These people are brain dead. Have you ever thought about that these people are taking oxygen from people that deserve it more?
Yes.
Have you ever thought about the fact that these people are complete wastes of resources?
I mean, honestly, and this is kind of my final thought, but the thing that stuck with me was you said over 10 rounds. That's something that I think you hear a lot from the left today is, oh, you don't need anything more than 10 rounds. And I believe that's the law in California now, but they say that it takes, is it 3.2 or 3.5 bullets to actually hit the target you're shooting at. That doesn't mean stop. That means hit your target. So if I'm defending my own and I have a clip that's only 10 rounds, that means I can stop. Well, not stop. That means I can put, on average, around 3 rounds into a person. That doesn't mean they're going to stop. If it's a 9mm, it'll slow them down a good amount. But you've seen videos of, I mean, I know you have, Sam, but there's videos out there of cops and people charging cops with a knife or something, and they'll shoot them 10, 12 times. They keep running. It's not, I mean, the adrenaline in your body from that, if they have a weapon, if they have something that can hurt me or my wife, or, I mean, if I was older and I had kids, if they had something that could hurt my family and I don't have a firearm to protect myself, what's the point in having a clip if it only holds 10 rounds? You know what I mean? 17 is maybe a little better, but honestly, if it's my house, I'm probably not grabbing a handgun to defend my house because it's going to be a lot harder to aim than a shotgun or, an AR with a flashlight on it. But, I mean, honestly, it's such a stupid thing to hear. Oh, 10 rounds is all you need. Why do you need more than that? Are you going to go, when you're hunting, you only need 1 bullet to take down an animal. Okay, idiot. I'd like to see you go hunting, and I want to see.
The majority of people that say that have never shot a gun in their life.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Give me a headache.
No, it's ridiculous. This has been This Week in Dumb Gun Laws. Again, send us your suggestions. You can send them in the Discord, DM us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Email us. There's a form on our website you can fill out.
Smoke signals from certain areas.
Within a few miles of our house.
Yeah. Carrier pigeon.
There you
go. Don't show up at my house to tell me, though, because I'll shoot you. Yeah. I will exercise my Second Amendment right. Mississippi, we don't have a problem doing that in Mississippi, so.
That was all we had for you guys today. Thank you guys for listening. Sam, you have anything else to close with?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Sweet. Well, have a great week, guys. We will talk to you again next week.
Thanks for listening to the Nonsensical Podcast. We appreciate your support, and without it, we probably wouldn't be here every week. If you'd like to connect with us and be part of the conversation, you can follow us on our social media linked in the description below. Nonsensical is part of the Goon Studios podcast network. If you would like to learn more about Goon Studios and the other podcasts within the network, or if you have an idea for your own podcast, visit our website at www.goonstudios.affiliatewebstores.com.